So I'm going to record this because what I'm hoping is that we'll be able to do like a little series and talk a little bit in regards to um, the topic. Because we get to reading and doing all kinds of stuff, and everybody wants to hear certain things, but I don't think we go deep enough. And I kind of like to have like a deeper conversation, so to speak. So, what came up was the Tower card, regret, and Aquarius, the Sun card. Um, and that has actually been a theme that's been coming up a lot, regret around the ending of certain relationships. And for the most part, a lot of people are hurt in behind regret, but also a lot of people are hurt around wasting time. I know that's one of my greatest fears is wasting time. And whenever we're in relationships and we're upset about wasting time, for the most part, it's all about the fact that we've overlooked certain things that we know damn well we should have paid attention to. And we chose not to because we really wanted it to be something that it wasn't, right? Now, a lot of you don't really know I'm like 51 years old. And I will tell you that it gets so much easier when you're in your 20s, 30s, and even your 40s. Sometimes you tend to feel like, God is playing a joke on you when it comes to relationships. And I got married very early. And um, I remember feeling like, okay, this is it, right? There's no more looking, no more searching, no more, games and things like that. Well, when you get married very young, sometimes that it doesn't happen that way, right? And you end up in the marriage for a very long time. You have your children for most of us, and you feel like, oh my God, I could have been doing so many other things, right? Because that is a huge commitment when you tether yourself to someone mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, right? And then it doesn't work out. And I knew then, okay, I'm never getting married again. And I really didn't have the desire to get married again because deep in my heart, I felt like, well, marriage really is for raising an entire family, in my opinion. Otherwise, you can't stay by yourself if you're not trying to raise a family and pretty much get everything you want without necessarily blending your whole entire life, right? Marriage is about a convenience. It's about coming together and pulling all of your resources under one umbrella, right? And then when you're divorced with two kids and you're over here doing one thing and somebody else wants you over here dating, it's like when you're younger, you have the energy to do that. But when you get older, and let's say you're like me, you end up taking care of your parents, you're still a responsible for another life on another end. It can get really, really frustrating. So I used to have, before I actually did tarot, some of you know that I was very much into astrology, which I still am. That's like my first love. And people would always come to me and ask me, can you please tell me if I'm compatible with this person or that person? And I would read their chart. I could read their influences. And on paper, things look good. You can see certain themes that may be a challenge. But what really determines the compatibility in most people are their upbringings and how they view life, how they view God, how they view themselves, how they see themselves. And for the most part, people literally have warped views of themselves and what they want out of life. So when they get to you, they're quite confused and they'll come to you saying that they want one thing. Then when you connect with them, it morphs into something else. And sometimes that happens because you are one entity on your own and this person is another entity on their own, and when you guys come together, you create a whole different entity. So sometimes what somebody wants, like somebody could say, my love language is words of affirmation. Another person could say, oh, well, my love language is physical touch, right? Well, when they actually get in this relationship, astrologically you can see that they create a whole different entity between them, and someone's love language can even change when they get with another person. I know for me, with when I was married, it was words of affirmation and quality time, because we had a whole family and I wanted to hear, how you felt, and I also wanted to spend quality time because I felt like that was the thing that was going to bind us together. And then when I became single, it became physical touch, and it became acts of service was secondary, right? Now that I am where I am, and in my 50s, it's acts of service, period. Like, I want to know what you can do to pitch in and help, because I've been divorced mother of two, had a household. I've been in charge pretty much most of my life, taking over, doing things. And so those love languages are going to change. So you constantly have to check in with yourself. You have to check in with your partner. You have to know that you evolve as a person. And when people come to me for readings, I much rather prefer you come to me about you. People come to me because they want me to make somebody be with them. Um, or teach them how to be with someone. And a lot of the times that doesn't always work, right? Sometimes you end up spinning your wheels. Sometimes you end up doing things that to pull you away from your purpose when you're focused on what are you going to do with this person. Relationships are here to teach you about you. I don't know if you caught what I said, so I'll say it again. Relationships are here to teach you about you. So, the more you get in relationships and you look at them objectively as a lesson and not look at them as a possession, you will be able to deal with the hurts and disappointments. They'll roll off your back. If somebody doesn't call you, you don't care, because you're actually thinking about what you're going to do with this relationship. How is it going to elevate you, right? So if someone is not communicating with you, if they're not putting you first, if they're not responding to you, if they're not reciprocating, if they're not integrating you into their life on purpose, if they're not talking about the future, if they're not concerned about what your goals are, if they don't have any goals, you're going to automatically start feeling like, okay, this isn't for me. This person may be for me, but this may not be the right time. So once you realize that it may not be the right time, even though it's the right person, and you have to have the right person at the right time for the right reasons. If you don't have those things in order, then there's a whole, you might as well just stop there, because I've met some great, great men who just weren't ready. Right? They weren't ready. And then there were times I was not ready. So I always tell everybody needs to be ready. Everybody needs to be willing. Everybody needs to know what it is that they're here for, right? You have your purpose, they have your purpose, but you also have a unified purpose that you need to be clear on. What are we here to do together, right? It can't be just, are we going to make it or not? Do they love me or not? Will we have children or not? Will we get married or not? It can't be just that. It has to be something deeper. And that will kind of make sure that you don't run into this tower where it has to end in such turmoil and you have this regret that you have here in regards to your hopes, dreams, and wishes, right? So, just for fun, let's see how this plays out and see if a storyline comes up in here for anybody, because sometimes you never know, what messages are in store for you. I was gonna just wrap it up, but some said no, let's kind of, so somebody that is looking at this is actually looking at taking a leap of faith to end something that 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 to end something that has been needing to come to an end. You have the Fool card with the Death card. Somebody has been kind of on the fence about ending something, and you know it's going to come to an end here with the Tower card, and you're willing to take a leap of faith. However, you're holding back your forces because you really feel as though there is a lot of strength and stability that's to be had in the relationship, but you haven't really been able to see that because this person is not really engaging. There is a suppressed passion here in the relationship. I wasn't planning on going into a reading, but when that's what you do, that's what you do, right? However, the time is now where you're ready to move forward, right? You are ready to start nurturing yourself more so than nurturing the relationship, right? You've been waiting on an apology. You've been waiting on some healing in this relationship, but it hasn't really been coming. But there is a conversation that needs to take place in regards to a loss of happiness. Somebody's not happy and they haven't had the conversation, and you're trying to find your happy place. You're trying to find that satisfaction, right? You're also trying to become more emotionally secure so that you can actually do the things that you need to do in your life. But you need to actually have more compassion for yourself and more compassion for this person. You guys are avoiding the truth due to the fact that, you don't want to hurt each other's feelings, but there's been a lot of hurt in here anyway. It's been a lot of sneaking around. People have been feeling bound to this relationship. So, in order to have the victory, you're going to have to cooperate, but you're going to have a necessary conversation around balance here with the Temperance card, and around some finances here with the King of Pentacles. We have the Justice card here. We have a defense. Somebody is defending their right to uh, be in the relationship, but not necessarily putting forth the effort that it requires in order to keep the relationship going. Okay, there's a deep inner knowledge that you're seeking before you actually make a move to end this relationship. You don't want to repeat the same cycle over and over and over and over. So what you're trying to do is make sure that you do the right thing. And it's keeping you up late at night because you can't see everything here with the Moon card. You don't understand everything that's happening, but you're plotting your course, but it's taking you a very long time because you feel bound in this relationship in regards to being able to have the victory. And that is actually what keeps you going. A lot of times when we don't really when we can't when we see there's a possibility of a victory, but we can't really get to it, that actually can keep us stuck continuing to try because we're so close with it that we actually think that if we do more, we can get it. But you're kind of getting to a point where you're wondering if you can even have that. So you're going inward as you make this decision, and you're very regretful because you no longer really feel. That's where this 5 of Cups is coming in with this 4 of Cups. You really feel like you're not getting what it is that you're deserving, but you keep working on it because you see here with the World card that it can go to another level, but you can't do it by yourself. And so it's causing you a lot of disappointment, and you're really seriously thinking about moving forward so that you can find this other cup of satisfaction that you have lost. There's a decision that you need to make that's going to bring you into your happy place here with the Sun card. When you make this decision, the fight will be over. You'll feel a relief. You'll be able to walk away, and you'll be able to step into this total success very quickly. I'm not going to say walk away. What I'm going to say is that if you walk away, it's going to bring total success, meaning that your walking away doesn't necessarily mean that you won't necessarily be with this person. Your walking away will actually prompt this person to do some things that they need to do. Now, I'm not saying that you need to walk away to manipulate. You need to walk away knowing that's what you want to do, just in case it tries to backfire and they say, oh, okay, well, have a good life. You need to be at peace with that. But I'm seeing here that if you do walk away, it's going to cause them to think here with the hangman and the conflict that you all have been having around a third party or around something that's blocking you is definitely going to balance out in its fairness, not knowing really how it's going to balance out, but it's definitely going to balance out. Also, you need to look at the fact that you all aren't letting go of some betrayal in the past. Once you let go of that betrayal, it's going to bring the relationship into full fruition. The friendship of the relationship that you're in is actually the part that needs healing, right? And that needs to be healed in order for you all to be able to move forward in divine love and be able to make some decisions and take charge here with the King of Wands. And that will kind of help keep the tower from necessarily taking a full toll on a relationship. The King of Wands is about integrity. It's about holding things together in the face of adversity here. And you will be able to do that, but you're going to have to break the confusion by coming out and standing in your truth. And then that will put you in the emperor in charge position in regards to love and independence. Once you do that, then you'll be able to move forward in your whole entire dream here with the Knight of Swords clarifying the Star card. So basically, when we talk about not wanting to waste time, not wanting to go through another breakup, not wanting to give up your hopes, dreams, and wishes, this reading is going to definitely help you in letting you know that you need to definitely stand in your truth. You need to make sure that you're clear on the things that you want. You need to make sure that you're able to fully walk away, right? Walking away is not necessarily meaning that you're going to completely lose out. Sometimes people want just showing people that you have the strength to walk away will bring them to where they need to be. Okay. So if you're on the fence and if you're struggling about making a decision, make the decision to walk away. You will not look like a fool if you backtrack. It's a certain skill that you need to have if you backtrack. Before you walk away, you need to already have your set standards in place, the things that you want. I'm going to leave. I'm going to do what I'm doing. I'm going to take care of myself. And if you ever want to even step this way again, or don't even say that. Wait and see if they ask you what your requirements are. And when they ask, because they're going to ask you, well, what can I do, to make this work? When they ask you what your requirements are, you need to already have that laid out. Okay. So I was just inspired to come with this quick reading. I know I have not been doing my monthly readings. I started back to work outside of the home, and it has really been like really, really busy. I have finally finished writing my book. So yeah, I am doing some things. I haven't forgotten about you all. I've been getting emails and people checking on me, and I'm doing fine, but I was worn out when I started back going to work outside the home. So I want you guys to just hang in there, continue to spread the word about the channel. I still intend to continue to grow the channel. I haven't given it a whole lot of love lately, but I miss you all, and I will definitely be back with you all soon. Hang in there and remember to reconstruct the world by reconstructing your mind. I know you can do it. Bye.